morning. So in this class we are discussing about two-dimensional problem. So we have to find out the total stiffness matrix for two-dimensional problem. So two-dimensional problem we have to calculate for CST. That is CST is called as constant strain triangular element. Okay. So we have to apply the two-dimensional problem and then we have to find out the stiffness matrix for CST. Okay. So what is the formula to calculate for stiffness matrix for CST is K is equal to B transpose B area into T. Okay. So here B transpose is called as, that is B transform is called as a strain displacement matrix and D is called as stress plane or strain plane based upon the conditions. Okay. So if your problem is given as stress plane, you can substitute the formula, or else you substitute the strain problem, you can substitute formulas. Okay. And B again is called as a strain displacement matrix. Area is called as area of the element and T is called as the thickness of the element. Okay, thickness of the element means it is called as a CST. Okay, so last class we are discussing about how to solve the D and B matrix. Yes. So for example, if you are taking the product of D and B matrix, you have to know the size of the element. For example, so D matrix having a size of 3 into 3 and D is a matrix size of 3 into 6. Okay, now we can cancel it. So okay, so you have to some hint. You have to write first row, the second one is column. Again here you write the first row and column. What is the size of the row and what is the size of the column? You have to just product and you got the size of the element. That is your final answer for 3 into 6 matrix. Okay, how could you substitute the A cross B and A cross C in calculator? Okay, so by using of mode option, okay, if the option is called as a matrix, okay, after choosing the matrix, you have to press the shift plus 4. Okay, so it shows the three options that is called as dimension, edit, and matrix. Okay, so dimension, what is the purpose of dimension is, so what is the data here? For example, so if you have a D matrix, if you have a B matrix. Okay, for example, so this is my D matrix, this is my B matrix. So what are the data is given for D matrix and what are the data are given for B matrix? You have to substitute dimension. Okay, you have to clearly mention, if your mention is B, that is the matrix name is called as B matrix. If your mention is C, that is matrix name is called as a C. Okay, then after that you have to product the A cross B and the A cross C. Okay, so what is the meaning of A cross B and A cross C is A matrix having size of 3 into 3. Again B is the size of 3 into 3. Okay, so that is I have to mention 3 into 3 for M and N. So M is transformation called as a row matrix and N is transformation of the column matrix. Okay, so here both having 3 rows and 3 columns. That is it, they are mentioned as 3 into 3. Okay, that's why we have to represent as A cross B is a 3 into 3 matrix and similarly A cross C also 3 into 3 matrix. So this is the product of D and B matrix. Now you have to substitute these data here. Okay, so D and B. So what is the balance element? Element is called as the B transpose. So what is the meaning of transpose? So the transpose meaning in matrix we have to change in the row and column. So either you consider row I have to consider as a column or column I have to consider as a row. So either you have to take either one. Either you have to take as a row or column or row. Either you have to take one. That's why I have to make as a this matrix. Now I am changing the B matrix called as a B transpose. After changing the B transpose, the size of the matrix is what? 6 into 3. Okay. So 6 into 3 is meaning is called as 6 rows and 3 columns. So for example, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4 and 5 and 6, column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay. So this is the size of the matrix I have to assign for B transpose. And similarly they have a D and B matrix. Yes. So D and B matrix just now we calculated by using a simple method. By using a calculator, okay, you have to product the A cross B and the A cross C. What is the A cross B? It's a 3 into 3 matrix. That matrix I have got from this after calculation of A cross B. And similarly, I have to cross multiply A and C. I got an answer of C matrix. Now I have to product the D and B with B transpose. Okay, don't change the position. Okay, if you change the position, it is not a product. For example, last class I told you, if I am changing B Okay, this is not cancelable. Okay, so 3 into 6, not cancelable. So that's why I have to change it for D matrix. After substituting here, you got the stiffness matrix for CST. Right?